GMNA uses artificial intelligence for generated speech, visuals, and production. AI-generated content may contain errors. Please verify important information before making decisions or taking action. Live from the GMNA News Center, this is the Lunch Break News Hour.
Good afternoon, I'm CJ Waterhouse. Tonight we start with a troubling stabbing in the Ville-Marie district, then look at an ARTM study that could pull thousands of cars off our roads with an orange line extension. Traffic's mixed with several closures and the weather's a pleasant high 70s. Over to you, Jeff.
The Red Bull Dance Your Style Canadian National Final takes place today at the Centre Pierre Charbonneau, featuring 32 dancers from across Canada competing for the title.
Judges include former champion Kyle Miller, choreographer Lise Bouchard, and dance floor veteran Sophia Rossi, each scoring performances on originality, musicality, and stage presence.
The event will be streamed live on Red Bull's official YouTube channel, with a live audience limited to 500 due to venue capacity.
Tickets sold out within hours, and the city anticipates a vibrant showcase of Canadian street dance talent. Lots to get to, let's begin. Good morning, Montreal.
Police confirmed a stabbing this afternoon in the Ville-Marie district. The victim, a 45-year-old man, suffered serious wounds but remains in stable condition, according to the Service de Police de la Ville de Montreal. Officers responded to a call at approximately 3 p.m., secured the scene and transported the man to a nearby hospital for treatment. The attack occurred near the corner of St. Laurent and St. Paul Streets, a busy corridor frequented by office workers and shoppers. Paramedics arrived within minutes, applied pressure to the injuries, and then escorted the victim to the ambulance. Investigators have not released a motive and are reviewing surveillance footage from surrounding businesses. No arrests have been announced, and police have asked anyone with additional information to contact the SBVM. The department will provide updates as the investigation proceeds.
The Regional Transit Authority just released a study that says extending and looping the Orange Metro line could pull thousands of cars off one of Montreal's most jammed corridors. The analysis, prepared by the ARTM, models a new segment that would stretch the line eastward and close a loop through the downtown core, linking existing stations with a fresh underground spur. By offering a faster, direct alternative, the plan is projected to divert enough drivers to ease rush hour gridlock along the heavily traveled artery. Officials say the data supports the long-standing proposal to complete the Orange Line, a move that could improve commute times and cut emissions. The study arrives as city planners weigh funding options, hoping the projected traffic relief will tip the scales toward moving the project forward.
Police confirmed a 19-year-old male was taken into custody on Tuesday in Terrebonne, following a violent assault that took place the night of Monday in the Plateau Montreal district. Officers said the incident, reported around midnight, involved multiple victims who suffered serious injuries. Investigators traced the suspect through surveillance footage and witness statements, leading to his arrest the following day. The suspect is being held at the Terrebonne Detention Center pending charges. No further arrests have been announced, and authorities have not released details about the motive or the identities of the victims. The investigation remains active as detectives continue to piece together the sequence of events that night. A spokesperson for the Service de Police de la Ville de Montreal emphasized that officers will maintain a visible presence in the plateau area to reassure the public.
Premier Jean-Claude Wachem told reporters this morning there is no certainty a definitive agreement will be reached on the long-standing Churchill Falls power contract. The province remains in active talks with Newfoundland and Labrador over a new arrangement for the massive hydroelectric project that has supplied electricity for decades. Wachem emphasized that while negotiations continue, any final settlement remains uncertain and could affect future energy planning for the province. He declined to provide a timeline for a resolution, noting that both governments are still reviewing technical and financial proposals. The lack of a clear path forward comes as Quebec seeks to secure reliable power sources amid growing demand. Stakeholders on both sides will keep the public informed as discussions progress. Analysts say the result may shape electricity rates and the province's long-term sustainability strategy.
Today, the United Kingdom announced a new restriction that bars the sale of energy drinks to anyone under 18, mirroring a policy first adopted by the Quebec government earlier this year. Quebec's ban, which prohibits retailers from selling caffeinated energy beverages to minors, was cited by British officials as a model for protecting young people's health. The UK measure will take effect within the next few weeks and includes penalties for non-compliant vendors. By contrast, the federal government of Canada has said it will not be introducing a comparable ban at this time, noting that it is continuing to monitor the issue. Quebec officials welcomed the overseas echo of their approach, while British health ministers described the rule as a proactive step toward reducing caffeine-related risks among adolescents. The policy adds to a broader international trend of scrutinizing sugary and stimulant drinks marketed to youth.
Later we'll hear how the SDM's new electric buses are hitting the streets, plus a look at the flood cleanup. We will be right back.
Watch the local sunset tonight at 6 p.m. for all your local Montreal news.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you caught the break. Up next, Jeff Laflamme will take us through today's local stories.
On July 24, the Société de Transport de Montréal rolled out its first electric buses, placing 4 vehicles into regular service on city routes. The addition marks the start of a broader plan to replace diesel units, with an aim to introduce 147 more electric buses by 2028. For commuters, the silent, zero-emission buses promise smoother rides and cleaner air along busy corridors. The SDM says the new fleet will be integrated gradually, allowing drivers to become familiar with charging procedures and maintenance routines. Early feedback from riders notes reduced vibration and a noticeable drop in interior noise. As the rollout continues, the agency expects the electric fleet to grow steadily, supporting its modernization strategy and contributing to the city's climate targets while keeping daily travel reliable.
20 years of Haitian rhythm pulse through the streets of Montreal as the Haiti and Foley Festival celebrates its anniversary. Organized by Fabien Colas, the event has grown into the largest Haitian cultural gathering outside the island, drawing families and artists to share music, dance, and cuisine. This summer's program features dozens of performances on multiple stages, pop-up art installations, and traditional market stalls where locals can taste griot and sip acassin. Schools across the borough are joining with workshops that teach Creole drumming and dance steps, giving children a hands-on link to their heritage. Vendors report steady crowds, and the city's parks are buzzing with vibrant colors and the scent of spice. As the festival continues through the weekend, residents can expect new shows each night, keeping the celebration alive well into the week.
Residents of Pierrefonds Roxborough have been laboring through July to clear the remnants of June's severe flooding. After weeks of intense rain, streets and basements were inundated, leaving behind mounds of floor panels, gypsum board, and other construction waste. Volunteers and homeowners alike have been hauling the material to dumpsters, repairing water-damaged walls, and restoring driveways. Municipal crews provided limited assistance, but most of the work has fallen to the neighborhood itself. The cleanup effort, now in its second month, underscores how the June deluge continues to affect daily routines, from commuting to home repairs. As the community clears the debris, the lingering moisture has also prompted extra checks for mold and structural integrity. Officials say the area will be monitored for any further damage as the season progresses. Neighbors have organized informal schedules to share tools and transport, easing the burden on individual families.
CF Montreal completed a trade with the New England Revolution on July 24. The club brought in forward Brian Ceballos, sending defender dagger Dan Thorhalson in the opposite direction along with $500,000 in general allocation money. The move gives Montreal a new attacking option as it looks to boost its lineup for the remainder of the season. Ceballos, previously with the Revolution, joins a squad already featuring several rising talents, and his arrival was confirmed by both clubs after the financial component was agreed. Thorhalson heads to New England where he will add depth to their defensive line. The allocation money exchange reflects the value both teams placed on the players involved, and fans can expect to see Ceballos in training this week. He is expected to feature in the upcoming match against the league leaders, giving supporters another reason to fill the stands.
Yesterday, a 22-year-old man was left seriously injured after a street brawl erupted in the downtown core. Police responded to reports of a heated altercation around mid-evening, but no arrests were made on the scene. Emergency services rushed the victim to a nearby hospital where doctors say his condition remains critical. Witnesses described a sudden flare-up between several individuals, escalating into a physical confrontation before bystanders could intervene. The incident underscores the potential for ordinary evening outings to turn dangerous without warning. Authorities have launched an investigation and are reviewing surveillance footage to identify those involved. The fight broke out near St. Laurent Boulevard, a busy evening route. No weapons were seen and the man was taken to Hôpital du Sacré-Cœur. Residents are advised to remain vigilant when moving through busy corridors after dark, as police continue to seek information about the perpetrators.
Now let's check in on your afternoon outlook with our weather teams.
A stubborn high-pressure ridge is weakening under a northwest jet, letting an unsettled wave edge toward Montreal. On this date, Montreal once sweltered to 31 degrees Celsius, a record set during the unprecedented heat wave of 2020. That same day, the thermometer also touched the high 20s, proving the ridge was relentless. Conversely, the coldest reading for July 25 fell to 9.1 degrees in 2013, when an Arctic blast slipped unusually far south. Normal July Highs hover around 26 with lows near 18. So today's 25 to 29 degree range sits comfortably between the historic extremes. The live radar shows a completely clean swath across southern Quebec, with no echoes over the city or the surrounding hills. That emptiness reflects the dominant high-pressure system, which is still capping ascent and keeping the lower troposphere dry. Meanwhile, the northwest jet aloft is only modestly steering any distant disturbances, so no precipitation is expected to arrive before the evening. With the screen clear, we now turn to today's outlook. At noon, Montreal sits at 21 degrees Celsius under a clear sky, humidity around 67%, and a light southerly breeze of 8 kilometers per hour. The high-pressure ridge that has dominated the morning is beginning to fall, allowing a weak northwest jet at 37 kilometers per hour to edge over the region. That subtle jet shear nudges a trailing trough closer, which will raise temperatures to a peak of 29 degrees by mid-afternoon before a slight dip to 28 at sunset. UV index reads 7, and the maximum wind stays near 10 kilometers per hour from the southeast, well below any gust concern. No weather alerts are active, and with the atmosphere remaining dry, the day will stay clear through the evening. Let's now look at the 5-day picture. Sunday will stay overcast with highs topping 29 and lows holding near 17, a modest dip from today's peak. Monday brings a return to clear skies and a high of 29, yet the forecast shows a 35% chance of rain in the afternoon as the weakening ridge loosens. Tuesday climbs to a warm 30 for the high, yet a 50% rain probability and thick cloud cover keep the temperature feeling milder. Wednesday marks the wettest stretch, with a high only 20 and a 70% chance of rain, the lingering trough finally deepening. Thursday cools further to a high of 22 and a low of 18, featuring drizzle and a 45% rain chance. The pattern shifts from a brief summer warmth back to a cooler, rain-laden stretch, highlighting the transition toward early autumn. And that's your weather. Remember, the lunch break is also available as a podcast. Listen anytime on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts.
Traffic, snarled with road closures, the Canadians are shaping the league's youngest roster, and Boda Boda adds guided sauna experiences. We will be right back.
Watch the local sunset tonight at 6 p.m. For all your local Montreal news.
Pontiac Cartier is fully closed both ways for an event, pushing east-west traffic onto Victoria Bridge and the Ville-Marie St. Mitchell crossing. Boulevard de l'Acadie cannot feed onto Autoroute 40 eastbound, creating a bottleneck that backs onto Rue Notre Dame. Rue Saint-Urbain over Autoroute Ville-Marie remains blocked, diverting downtown commuters onto Rue Saint-Laurent. Ville-Marie Tunnel on Autoroute 720 reports a major hindrance, adding up to 15 minutes of delay for vehicles heading downtown. Louis-Hippolyte Lafontaine Tunnel between Longueuil and Montreal is under refurbishment, limiting capacity. Service Road between Tellier and Notre Dame loses a lane, and the Bonaventure Expressway near Victoria Bridge runs with an eastbound lane shut. Westbound Claimant Bridge is down to a single lane for beam repairs, while Descurie Expressway southbound stays closed between the interchange and Jean Talon. Southbound Henry Bourassa carries only 2 of its 4 lanes. No transit disruptions are reported, so the metro and bus network run as scheduled. Expect these conditions to hold through the afternoon.
J. Cole lights up the Bell Center tonight, delivering a hip-hop showcase that's a must-see for fans and casual listeners alike. He'll drop new tracks alongside classics, keeping the vibe alive. At Village au Pays du Courant, the Red Bull Dance Your Style Canadian National Final pits the country's top street dancers against each other, with the winner earning a spot at the World Final in Zurich. Judges score on style and originality, so expect surprise moves. Ariana Grande rolls into the Bell Center Friday, promising a pop extravaganza that will dominate the city's music scene through the weekend. The show promises dazzling lights and a sing-along setlist. Cirque du Soleil's Echo exhibition is on display at Time Out Market, offering an intimate glimpse behind the curtain for anyone craving circus magic without leaving downtown. Kids can try mini workshops while adults soak up the behind-the-scenes photos. And now here's Jason with sports.
Here's the latest on Montreal's teams and the stories shaping our sports scene. The Habs confirm they will again field the NHL's youngest roster, keeping the rebuild momentum alive. Former star Martin St. Louis even presented a Canadiens jersey to comedian Jerry Seinfeld during a recent event, underscoring the club's community outreach as the new season approaches. Toronto's AFC side secured a 2-0 victory over the Montreal Roses on Thursday, moving into sole possession of third place in the Northern Super League. Goals came from Lauren Rowe and Kaylee Hunter in the second half, while goalkeeper Sabrina D'Angelo recorded 2 saves for the hosts. The Canadians announced the addition of former Lightning assistant Derek Lalonde as an associate coach, a move praised by analyst Aaron Ward as shrewd. The hire bolsters Montreal's coaching bench as the organization continues to shape its roster and staff ahead of the upcoming campaign.
Boda Boda, the floating spa anchored in the Old Port, just unveiled a guided sauna experience as part of its latest expansion. The health-focused oasis, already known for its river view hydrotherapy pools, now offers structured sessions led by certified therapists, blending heat, aromatherapy, and community conversation. The new area responds to Montrealers' growing appetite for social connected wellness, giving locals and tourists a place to unwind together while still enjoying the city's skyline. By extending its program, Boda Boda draws more foot traffic to the waterfront, supporting nearby cafes and artisans and reinforcing the Old Port as a vibrant hub of health and hospitality. It's a reminder that caring for ourselves can also nurture the pulse of Montreal. Stay tuned for a heartwarming look at Montreal's Haiti and Foley Festival celebrating its 20th anniversary. A true community triumph.
Coming up tonight at 6, the local sunset. Your neighborhood, your city, your news. From city hall decisions to the stories happening right on your street, we cover what matters most to Montrealers. Join us tonight at 6 p.m. on GMNA for the local sunset, Montreal's evening newscast.
Montreal's queer nightlife and performing arts community converge for a weekend-long open-air party at Place du Village, turning the downtown core into a vibrant celebration of music, dance, and drag. The festival promises a showcase of local talent and inclusive festivities for all. Carl Dumont is there. Carl Dumont.
Thanks CJ Waterhouse. The sun dips behind the St. Lawrence skyline, casting a pink glow over Place du Village. Neon ribbons snake between the old stone buildings, and a throng of 20-something locals and tourists weave through pop-up food stalls selling spicy tacos and sweet crepes. A deep bass thump rolls from the central stage where a DJ spins a mashup of classic disco and synth wave, while a drag queen in a sequin cape commands the mic, her laughter rippling through the plaza. To my left, an interactive sculpture pulses with color, lighting up each touch like a living graffiti wall. The crowd sways, phones flashing, strangers sharing smiles, the energy palpable. This open-air nightclub transforms the downtown core into a vibrant queer sanctuary for the weekend. For many, this night is a rare chance to see themselves reflected in every flash of light and beat. The Control Plus Alt Festival celebrates Montreal's fearless creativity and its unapologetic pride. Carl Dumont virtually at Place du Village.
On St. Laurent Boulevard, a bright spring morning gathered a curious crowd as the first Chinese-built electric sedan rolled onto the curb outside the historic St. Joseph's Market. Families lingered by the glossy white hatch, children's eyes following the silent glide of the car, while a local mechanic named Marie lifted the hood to examine the sleek battery pack. The event, organized by a Montreal-based dealer, marked the debut of a new wave of Chinese automakers who have decided to make Quebec their home base for electric mobility. Quebec already counts more than 400,000 electric vehicles on its roads, and today's arrival added a fresh promise of affordable, zero-emission options for everyday drivers. Residents heard stories of factory jobs being created in the suburbs of Laval and of technology apprenticeships opening at local colleges. The atmosphere turned from curiosity to shared optimism as the mayor stepped forward, shaking hands and declaring the partnership a boost for both the environment and the province's economy. Seeing the community rally around a cleaner future reminds us why these moments matter.
On a crisp Saturday night in the downtown core, the historic Place des Arts filled with a buzz that only a just for laughs gala can generate. Inside, a modest crowd of comedy lovers waited for a surprise that had been whispered through the city's cafes for weeks: the return of Jerry Seinfeld, the comedian who first stepped onto the festival's stage in 1989. When the lights dimmed, Seinfeld took the modest wooden platform, his familiar grin steady as ever. He launched into a fresh set that wove today's absurdities, smartphone etiquette, remote work fatigue, into the observational rhythm that made him a household name. A vivid moment arrived when he paused, eyes scanning the room, and delivered a line about Montreal's infamous bagel queues that sparked a ripple of laughter so genuine it seemed to lift the vaulted ceiling. The audience rose in a spontaneous standing ovation, a collective acknowledgement that the city's love for humor had come full circle. It's scenes like this that remind us why Montreal's cultural pulse feels so alive.
Thanks for tuning in, Montreal. Today's highlight was the SDM's rollout of brand new electric buses, a clear step toward cleaner streets. We appreciate your support and look forward to bringing you more stories tomorrow. Stay safe, stay curious, and see you back on the lunch break.